Of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports. It's time for Pierre Governor Sports on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. The Pierre Governors on KCCR are sponsored by Agtegra, First Fidelity Bank, Red Rosa, Wheelhouse Auto Body, SD Savin, Wegner Auto, and State Farm Becky Pottsaba Agency.
Now Zabel will have to throw. He'll throw the back of the end zone looking for Kaiser. Up in the air. The catch is made to the 45. He stays on his feet. Kaiser, 35-30. How about a 99-yard pass? Touchdown, Governors!
And by Pizza Ranch, Rising Hope Counseling, Sanford Clinic, River Bottom Sanitation, Black Hills Federal Credit Union, Anderson Rumsa Dental, Home Care Services, and Country Carpet and Flooring.
To be taken here by the Governors. Michaela Sherwood put us an end to the Knights, and the Governors win it 15-6 in set number 5.
By Olson Plumbing, First Dakota National Bank, Boys and Girls Club of the Capital Area, Slumberland Furniture, AGE Corporation Ready Mix, Dakota Storm and Roofing, and South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Division of Consumer Protection.
Tyne Winkler got a free rush to the quarterback. This is picked off to the end zone. Carson Stosier, a pick 6, and the Governors lead at 40-0. Right back at you.
Pierre Governors on KCCR is also sponsored in part by Beck Motors, First United Methodist Church, Zander Auto Parts, Birding Electric, May Adam, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Gales Gas, and Shane's Pharmacy.
Growers to receive it. Christofferson to set for Kropp. Off the hands. That's going to be a kill. That's a reverse sweep win for the Governors. 15-12 in set 5. Abby Kropp finishes off a 17-kill Knights. 15-12 in set 5. The Governors complete the comeback.
And by Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota. Clubhouse Hotel and Suites. Graham Tire. Faith Lutheran Church. Access Health Fort Pierre. And CHS River Plains.
Final play of the ball game. 7 seconds to go. Kamshoff looking to backpedal. He is going to be sacked. The mountain has been climbed. The standard sets. 7th heaven. The Governors. 7 straight state championships.
And by Edward Jones Financial, Todd's Electric, Lamb Motors, American Family Insurance, Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, Missouri River Dentistry, Comtech, and Bank West. Now, with the call of the game, here's the voice of the Pierre Governors, John Winkler.
On a beautiful Saturday afternoon, we welcome you here to Aberdeen, Swisher Field, as the Pierre Governors start their quest for 8 straight state championships, taking on the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles for the second time in as many years. The Governors travel up to Aberdeen, third time in 3 years that these two teams start the season off against each other, but back-to-back years here in Aberdeen. And Blake Dean joins me. And Blake, this is a picture-perfect first day weather-wise. A little bit of wind, but we're in South Dakota. That's not unfamiliar, but picture-perfect to start the season for this Governor team here in Aberdeen. And what should be a fun night of football, always a fun night of week 1 on football.
Yeah, absolutely, John. You look at the weather forecast for tonight's game. Not a cloud in the sky here at Swisher Field in Aberdeen. Currently 86 degrees. Like you said, winds blowing about 15 miles per hour. But beautiful day. Like you said, windy, but that's par for the course for South Dakota. And we're going to see the Govs, like you said, open up their quest for 8 straight titles here this evening against the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles. A new look for both of these teams. We're going to see a lot of new starters on both sides of the football for both Pierre and Aberdeen, which should be a pretty solid matchup, and we're looking forward to seeing some new faces on both sides of the ball.
And that was what I was going to mention, that when you look at both these teams, first you look at Aberdeen Central and you look at their stats from last year and look to see all the seniors that were on the team that got those stats. You're going, boy, they got nobody really returning from last year that played a lot of varsity minutes. Then you look on the other side for Pierre, and because we're accustomed to guys just filling roles and other guys that got some time, end up saying the same thing. Cooper Twilliger back at the tight end, George Staley, who missed time, but he returns. And then the offensive line's got 3 guys returning, but there's a lot of guys that are going to be stepping into their first varsity starts. They got playing time last year, but first varsity starts. So both these teams, offensively and defensively too, are going to be sitting here saying, okay, we're going to find out what our team is made of here early on in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at the Governor offense, they return 5 starters there. You look at the Governor defense, only 2 starters returning for the green and white on the defensive side of the ball. So 7 total starters return from last year's state championship team for Pierre. But then you look at the flip side as far as Aberdeen Central, and they return a few starters on offense and defense, kind of similar numbers when you look at things from the statistics perspective, but a lot of seniors on Aberdeen Central's roster last year. They lose their leader in passing yards, receiving yards, and rushing yards as well. So all new starters on offense. They lose their top 2 tacklers from last year's team as well. So a lot of new faces that are going to be seen on both sides of the ball for both of these teams, and we're going to see a lot of new names that we didn't necessarily see last year kind of fill those big time roles and get the headlines. And that's just the nature of the beast when it comes to high school and college football. You continue to age up and you get to see new faces in new spots, and let's see if the guys with the green and white on can fill those roles a little bit more efficiently than Aberdeen here today, and that would be the key to the victory for the Pierre Governors here this evening.
We are one of 3 games in total to be played here in South Dakota for Saturday, but the only 11 AA game. Yankton beat Huron 60-0 last night. Spearfish got the upset over T 39-29 in Spearfish. Mitchell beat Douglas 51-13. Brookings shut out Sturgis 31-0, and Jefferson beat Watertown in the AAA AA crossover game 38-7. In the 5 games that were played yesterday in 11 AA. We're one of 3 games today with the Dakota Bowl. Brandon Valley takes on Sioux Falls, Washington, and O'Gorman and Harrisburg are playing the 2 games. In 11 AAA, everybody else has already played for the week. But we've got to talk to our coaches coming up here in just a little bit. We've got to talk to both our coaches and both the Pierre Governors and the Aberdeen Central coaches. We'll step aside for 4 minutes. Come back starting with Coach Brees of the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles. Back in 4 minutes on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Comtech is a total technology solutions provider. Comtech is ready to get technology to work for you, not against you. Stop into Comtech to see our selection of TVs, home audio systems, computers, and security systems. They have brand names like Samsung, Bose, Sonos, and Lenovo, just to name a few. Comtech has what you're looking for in technology. Stop in at 1601 Lowell Avenue in Pierre or visit their website at comtechplus.com. Comtech, your trusted technology solutions provider.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Did you know it is important for your child to see the dentist at the time their first tooth erupt? A healthy smile begins at birth, and there are many variables, from healthy eating habits to good oral hygiene and routine dental care. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer. At Missouri River Dentistry, we enjoy working with people of all ages. Dentistry is our profession, but people are our focus. I invite families to come experience an office that uses the latest techniques and equipment to be sure you receive that healthy and happy smile. To schedule your appointments for your family, call us at 223-2021. Kids love us, parents trust us.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebine Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC. As we welcome you back to the pregame show here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports, join me as Coach Justin Brees of the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles as we get set for the first game of the season here tonight. As Coach, this is a team for the Aberdeen Central, some turnover, and for coaches, that's exciting and both probably nerve-wracking at the same time. What do you like about what you've seen from practice so far about some of these new guys who are going to be filling these roles?
Yeah, like you said, we've got a lot of new guys coming up. We're fortunate enough to have, a good handful of them last year as, underclassmen get some good experience on the field as well. And, being able to step in and take the place of those graduating seniors. And, it's fun to watch them go through the summer and, develop into, the players that we kind of see them as, and maybe as some kids maybe move a position or two, might be, part of the process of finding, their best fit on the team and what's best for the team. So it's always exciting, but also, kind of nerve-wracking, like you said, the kind of anticipation of, okay, how's this really going to turn out on game day as opposed to practice against your own teammates.
Well, in that first game against the Pierre Governors, the defending state champions, and sometimes obviously you can't pick your schedule. Sometimes coaches like to play them later. Sometimes like to play them earlier. Obviously you have to play them earlier. But how exciting is it to get that chance to for the second straight year to play the Pierre Governors in the first game? Yeah,
it's always. I don't want to use the word fun, but it's always exciting to be able to kind of see where you measure up. And playing that first game, no matter who you're playing, you don't know what kind of changes they've made or what their personnel is going to look like. And likewise, they're maybe not quite sure of what our personnel or what, we made changes offensively or defensively, those kind of things. So it's kind of a cat and mouse game at that first game always, which is fun as a coach to be able to, make in-game adjustments and work with your guys and understand, okay, hey, here's what they're doing, here's what we're going to do. Or, hey, they're doing this, so now we need to do this, whatever it is. So it's fun to make those adjustments and, really be able to coach guys up and just be able to focus on ourselves a lot is the big thing. It doesn't matter who you're playing, could be whoever, but, focus on, hey, here's what we're doing well, and, hey, here's areas that we need to improve on.
Well, and obviously, not trying to get the game plan out of you or anything like that, but what can maybe someone see from Aberdeen Central this year that might be a little bit different than what they saw last year, especially for Pierre Governor fans who got to watch you at the beginning of the season and then maybe seeing you now here coming up to tonight?
Yeah, I think you're still going to see a team that wants to control the ball. Obviously, that's a big part of, offensive, controlling the clock, those kind of things, but, maybe being a little more aggressive on defense might be a part of what we wanted to get accomplished. So I think, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of changes. It's just going to be usual Aberdeen Central football.
And the Pierre Governors have a new quarterback at the helm after the last couple of years, and obviously Kate Kaiser, their quarterback last year, had been a lot of varsity experience. So a new guy stepping into the first time at the varsity ranks for Pierre. What do you want to see defensively to maybe make him, be uneasy back there, make him maybe try and force a couple of different things? What do you want to see from your defense to go and attack the quarterback?
Yeah, you said it there, right? You want to be able to put some pressure on them, maybe give them some different coverage looks, maybe confuse them a little bit is always important, especially with the young quarterback. They might have had a little bit of varsity time the year before, maybe a lot of JV time, but things move a little bit faster when you're going against the first team of another team instead of maybe their backups as well. So, trying to get them uncomfortable a little bit and maybe try and get him not quite so easy in the pocket would be good.
You mentioned too, you're a team that wants to control the football, wants to be able to have those drives, and that really kind of helps settle in to a game a lot of times too. So there's not much of a change of, hey, we want to do this first and then lead into this. You kind of want to. You're going to see. You want your team to kind of see that all the way through. Of we're going to get the ball, we want to drive, we want to take our time. There's not going to be a change of how a new quarterback or just in general anybody coming in. They're going to be able to settle in the game the way you want to settle in the game.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Is kind of control like I said, the clock, but also kind of control the game, and then depending on how much time's on the clock and what the score is, that kind of affects how your opposition maybe calls plays and what they're going to try and do, and maybe risks they want to try and take to get the ball moving, get some points on the board to kind of speed things up a little bit. But if we can control that, that kind of plays into our hand.
And I talking with Coach Steele, I'll talk with him here in just a moment too about the Saturday night game. And for the most part, coaches and players, and once the game starts, you don't really notice the difference between maybe starting at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock. But there is a little bit of a difference between Friday and Saturday. Is it nice? Is it also a little bit more like it gets the jitters going a little bit more, that you're just antsy to get playing a game when everybody else has already got a game and you still got to wait another day? Does that kind of build the anticipation a little bit more and almost, not necessarily drive you crazy, but make you a little bit more crazy?
Yeah, I would say so. After 2 full weeks of fall camp and then a week of game week, you're kind of chomping at the bit to try and get out there and hit somebody in a different colored jersey as opposed to your own teammates and in practice. So that I know as far as the guys go, yeah, it's just day to wait and get a little more antsy about game day time. And as a coach, yeah, you still get a little bit antsy. It does help out, get one more extra day to get a little game prep in and get things ready to go. But most of us have been doing stuff since, end of May, early June, as far as, getting together as a team and work on stuff throughout the summer when we can and fall camp. But yeah, it just adds one more day to just, okay, got to take a breath here. It's not Friday Night Lights tonight. It's Saturday night this year. So it's just one more day to, get a little bit uneasy and get those butterflies going. And, it's always a nerving but exciting time of year when you get ready for that first game and just get that first kickoff going. And yeah, it's fun, exciting, but like you said, a little antsy, a little bit nervous at the same time too, just getting ready in anticipation of kickoff.
Talking with Coach Brees here of the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles. Kickoff coming up here shortly on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Coach, final question I like to ask this all the time is the biggest key for Aberdeen Central to get a win tonight?
I think a big part of it is, I think we talked about, controlling the ball. That's always a huge issue. But I think it's going to be interesting. I think one of the more experienced aspects of Pierre's team returning this year looks like probably their offensive line. They got 3 of their 5 returning this year. It looks like, and our defensive line is probably one of our more experienced groups on the team as well. So it's going to be interesting to see that battle within the battle up there up front with the offensive line, defensive line. Those guys going back and forth and seeing, who can gain the advantage as far as Pierre on offense, and if defensively we can get things rolling our direction as well.
Well, Coach, hey, I appreciate the time. It's good to have football back, and even though we had to wait an extra day to have it happen, it's good to have Saturday night here and ready for kickoff. So I appreciate the time. Good luck tonight. Good luck the rest of the season, and then maybe our paths will cross again as the year goes on. But good luck tonight and good luck this season.
All right, thank you, John.
That's head coach Justin Brees of the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles. Back with more of the pregame show next year on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Happy anniversary, Wagner Auto. Wagner Auto is celebrating 117 years in the area with sales and service, and now they want to thank you for taking part. When you buy a vehicle at Wagner's, you'll receive $117 in beef bucks just in time for grilling season. See us for details. Get sale prices on Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Check out our ever-expanding inventory. Get the best deals now during the 117th anniversary celebration at Wagner Auto, South Dakota's oldest auto dealership. Wagner Auto, 330 East Sioux in Pierre. Access Health Fort Pierre is here to serve you. Mission-driven to provide affordable, high-quality health care. Access Health provides personalized care for the entire family, including chronic and acute care, evaluation of illness and injuries, laboratory services, wellness exams, DOT and sports physicals, and immunizations. Access Health Fort Pierre. Affordable, high-quality service without the wait. Compassionate, committed, and convenient. The clinics of Access Health have been serving Central South Dakota for the past 35 years. Access Health, caring for communities, caring for you.
Walking together in faith, living together in faith, working together in faith, that's who we are.
Hi, this is Pastor Sam Hanschke. I hope that our athletes have an excellent and successful season. I pray that God would continue to richly bless them. I invite you to join me in praying for our athletes during the year.
We're Faith Lutheran and we are glad you're here.
Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door. The Clubhouse Hotel and Suites has Midwestern charm and unprecedented attention to detail that provides the perfect getaway. The Clubhouse Hotel and Suites provides a complimentary deluxe continental breakfast featuring hot waffles, biscuits, and gravy. They also have an indoor children's water playland, whirlpool and fitness center, and a beautiful backyard patio with seasonal fire pits. Everyone deserves a night away. Call 605-494-2582 to make your reservation today. The Clubhouse Hotel and Suites. Experience luxury in the heart of South Dakota.
We welcome you back to the pregame show here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Joining me is Coach Steve Steele, the Pierre Governors. And, Coach, it's good to have football back. It's good to be back with the season tonight against Aberdeen Central. On the road, second straight year going on the road against Aberdeen Central. But is it nice? Obviously, every home game is nice. Is it nice to kind of maybe start on the road because you get all the extra stuff of, bus time, leave time? Now, Saturday might throw that a little bit of a hitch too, but kind of get all those logistics down being on the road that first game to get everybody in that game mode right away.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. A little bit of deja vu. Feels like last year because we started out here as well. But, a little bit different just with it being on a Saturday, like you said, and it being an earlier kickoff. I think that it is a little bit different of a process. But, having your first road trip on a weekend is nice just because, again, this was the first or second week of school. So, at least that way, your kids have gotten up a little bit later. They've gotten their rest and, kind of gotten going as opposed to just being in school all day for that first trip on the first week of school. That can be a lot for kids.
And earlier kickoff time, does that anything matter at all other than maybe the temperature being a little bit different at kickoff than at a normal 7 o'clock game?
Yeah, temperature will be a little different. We'll get home a little earlier, which will be nice. Outside of that, I don't think that there'll be a major difference being at 5.
Well, let's talk about your team. Caleb Lounsbury will be the quarterback does a start here tonight. And last year, Kate Kaiser stepped in that role after Lake Aquino's had graduated, and you aren't necessarily concerned, and I'm not going to say you're concerned about Caleb Lounsbury, but it's a little bit different. Kaiser had been varsity for several years, and knew the system really well. Lounsbury, not taking anything away from him, but it's going to be a little bit different feeling, and do you ease him in the game a little bit more so than maybe the last couple of years with your quarterbacks?
Yeah, it'll be a little different this year. And again, I think Caleb's ready. He wouldn't have the job if he wasn't ready. But it's just a little bit different when it's that first varsity start as opposed to your first varsity quarterback start, like you said with Cade last year. But I said this is. I mean, you go back to what would be 2020, where Lincoln was a sophomore in his first start. I mean, we're prepared. We understand that there's going to be bumps, and but we know Caleb's a tough, strong-headed kid, and he's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of arm talent. But again, we'll look a little bit different too. Our offense is built a little differently this year, knowing what we've got and knowing we've got Caleb distributing the ball.
And the talent that he has and the talent that's around him. 3 offensive linemen return, which is a good start to start the season, having 3 guys return on the offensive line. And then you get a tight end, a couple of receivers return, and Trevor Round's a guy in the backfield that could have been a starter for the last several years on different other teams across the state. A lot of talent that he's got around him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of people to take the pressure off. And our lines looked really good through camp. Excited to see how they look today, and really put out a full group unit effort as opposed to the kind of the mix and match that you do through camp. Trevor's been waiting a long time for this opportunity. He's ready to go, and that'll be exciting to see. And really great stable of options to throw the ball to. Obviously there's Cooper, George Stolly's really looking good, ready for a good year. Carter Scheffelbein's in there. Carson Stosher's been taking some offensive reps. So I think there's going to be plenty of people to throw the ball to. And we trust Caleb to get the ball where it needs to go.
Carson Stosher and a guy along with Elijah Bucci returning on the defensive starting lineup, and guys that have been in there. There's been experience that is back with the team again, but those 2 guys returning as starters. What's the feeling for defense going into that this first game with a lot more to fill in those starting roles than on the offensive side?
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot more competition on the defensive side of the ball for starting spots, just because there was more spots available. So that's been a really fun thing to see progress over the last few weeks is, just seeing a lot of the different guys really battling it out, and making it some very hard decisions for our coaching staff on who's going to get the call to start. I'd anticipate there still will be quite a bit of rotational play, especially on the defensive line. But, I think really excited about the group we have, and I think that we're going to be very, very flexible in our defensive scheme because of some of the players that we're using out there.
And of course, we talk about you guys and going in that first game. It's hard to know what the other team really is going to do, even with Justin Brees returning as head coach again for another year for Aberdeen Central. So you have some film on what he likes to maybe do and some of the tendencies. But overall, Aberdeen Central, your opponent, what do you expect from them coming into this first game?
You hope that you're going to get something similar, just because again, it's a brand new year, and they lost quite a few starters. So, those are usually the times it's a little easier to mix things up when you don't have a whole lot of returning guys that have that expectation and know-how of what's going on. So you always wonder if there's going to be some bigger changes, but at the same point, all you can plan off of is what you've seen on film and then kind of generic stuff from there. So hopefully it looks pretty similar, and if not, hopefully we can get it figured out quick.
And early on last year, we were kind of talking about that too. Want to get a good start, and obviously you got a shutout in the first 2 games of the season. But in that first game of the season, now, to expect a shutout every game would be nice, but probably not the expectation. Obviously, you want to get defense to stop. Every time you go out, offense wants to score every time you're on the field. But what do you want to see for a good start for this Governor team?
Yeah, I'll make sure to let Coach Thorson know that that's what you're expecting today.
Right. Yeah.
But really, realistically, we just want to make sure that we're playing good football. We're in the spots that we need to be. If we can mentally not make a lot of mistakes, I think in general the first week usually comes down to discipline. In a lot of ways, your offenses are not going to be as sharp as they're going to be 5-6 weeks down the line. Defense is a little bit quicker install because it's more fitting to gaps and fitting to responsibilities, where offense is so dependent on how the defense lines up. It's usually just not quite as sharp. So, I'd say if we can make a mistake-free offensive game, that'll be very good for us to hopefully move the ball down the field and put some points on the board. And then defensively, being in the right spots and being in good communication, those are the most important things going into a Week 1 game.
And you mentioned too that defensively, you're a lot more rotations potentially in that first game to kind of feel out how everybody's doing, but also, that first game tends to be warmer than as you get along in the season, and cramps and just game shape is a little bit different than practice shape. How important is it, one, to stay hydrated, and two, to get those guys rotated as needed in that first game?
Yeah, it's huge to do that, and football is kind of the hardest sport for that, because you're in your worst shape. At the same time, the weather's the hardest to play in.
As we welcome you back, we are set for kickoff between Pierre and Aberdeen Central, and to cut the interview short as we're set and ready to go. You listen to KCCR, Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. Aberdeen Pierre won the toss, and the Governors elected to defer. Aberdeen Central then elected to kick. So if my math is correct, because Pierre defers to choose in the second half, so they can choose to receive the ball in the second half, which means, especially if this game is close, Pierre can get the ball, start the half, both the first and second half.
Yeah, not entirely sure